Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again. Just a quick little wrap up of the Mayhem event from me, and I don't know, letting you know that the Delve Infinite event is happening in just a second, in case you somehow missed it, and I'll just go over the basics real quick, and maybe tell you what I think I might be playing. I'm still not too sure. In any case, with the Mayhem event, I ended up level 94 Scion as Berserker, Deadeye, and I was a Wander for the last few levels from like roughly 90 to 94 or so, which was a lot of maps because I was doing mostly tier 8 through to tier 11 maps, didn't really progress too much higher. By the end, at most, I was running a lot of tier 13 grottos, but character was just kind of too weak to really be able to properly go into higher tier maps and do it comfortably, especially with such nutty mods as like Harbingers all over the place, because those are some thick boys. So it was just cold Wander. It was just making a lot more sense to respec back into the Wander instead of Lancing Steel, because it's so much smoother to just map with, to push packs and get a lot of AoE going, whereas Lancing Steel is a lot more setup, it was a lot more standing still for single target and for certain packs, and it was also Leap Slam, which was kind of wonky in the end. Whereas this, it's just based off of the added cold gem, and we're running around right-clicking with Kinetic Blast. This is me clearing a Chiula Breach, the only one I made during the event, and it's huge XP, even at 93. So more of those would have been delicious, but that did not really happen. It was a good event for me. I had quite a lot of fun doing the mapping. It was only 1 week though, so it's really hard to compete unless you're going to spend 12 to 16 hours every single day playing. And with my 6 to 8 hour playtime, it got me through to level 94, which was about 12th on the Scion ladder, something like that. Top 5 in the end needed level 97, and there was no fucking way I was going to be managing that. So it was a little bit sad in the end that I couldn't keep going, couldn't really push any harder, but there's just no way I'm competing at that level. And that does bring me to the Delve event, in that pretty much just play whatever the fuck you want. If you think you're going to compete, only really try if you are planning to delve for about 12 hours a day, because I think there's going to be level 100s within just a few days, and I think there's going to be people committing ass loads of time in the deep delving sort of section, and it's going to be tough to really place top 5 unless you know what the hell you're doing and are committing a lot of time. But that said, I do think the Delve event, Endless Delve, should actually be pretty fun for at least a day to get a character started from a very different perspective, a different point, and kind of already be at your end game sequence, which is just going through Delve mines and trying to find certain nodes, trying to find bosses and all of that right from the start. I think it's going to be quite a lot of fun to at least commit a few hours, a few levels, or a day into. So it's probably worth at least trying, looking into it. But being competitive is just a whole nother story in this type of a thing. These new uniques are not necessarily strictly new. Some are... Actually, no, I think they are mostly new. Yeah, but it's a similar thing to the previous little events that they used to hold, which were like Endless Ledge, Descent, where you started off with a few little unique weapons, and some of them are pretty damn unique, and they're pretty strong and should get you through the first few levels. And they've got quite a few fun mods on them, or at least some of them do, and some are going to be powerful enough to probably use until the end game for your character, because chances are you're not going to get much better. And for example, this dagger here is going to be a super solid base for a lot of things that can stack lots of flat, or for a cast on crit character. It's already got 12 crit, it's got 45 crit multi, power charge on kill, which for Delve is pretty much going to be most of the time. So something like this, you can build a very comfortable cast on crit character over. You just got to hit level 38, which I think something like Frostblades or something like Frostblades will probably get you there rather comfortably. Something like this might be extremely fast for your Raider or for just about any character. Get 5 frenzies, dual wield these things, and just get a bit of extra movement speed, a bit of extra area, permanent frenzies on kill, because you're pretty much always on killing. So you might be using these to just push speed for example. And then the others will probably just take you through rather smoothly in the first few levels. But you get these at level 1. You can make multiple characters, so just grab as many of these things as you need, even if you want to just vial them for certain vialing reasons. You do start at level 1, and you can buy all the gems as soon as you want at level 1. Since there will be a vendor right there. So you could, if you really want to, plan out your entire build and buy every single gem right from the bat, and then just start delving, put on your little upgrades as you go, and be kind of focused on that event. I think I'll probably still just dip out every now and again and take little breaks. Otherwise, I think you will go like mad, like Nico did, delve. Aside from that, what else should we say? You will get your passives along as you normally did throughout the campaign every few levels, so you just get bonus passives. Your ascendancies will come in at 33, 55, 68, 75. That's pretty insane. Even by 75, you'll have your entire Uber Lab finished. So you can play any characters around having Uber Lab, and you don't have to run actual Labyrinth. So that's a real nice benefit for a change as well. And besides that, is there anything else technically proficient that I need to say? Probably not. That's pretty much it. Gear will be much harder to come by. You don't have access to your hideout. You don't have a crafting bench. It will be tough to actually get established nice gear. It's just going to be kind of random nature of it. You're going to get loot. You can, craft stuff with your RNG, Chaos, Alks, that sort of shit. But there's no card turn-ins. There's no additional crafting from the bench, and I don't know if you know this or if you noticed, but the bench is actually a huge part of filling out a lot of little stats on your on your gear, because prior to crafting benches, we had some really shit gear going around, and in so many cases you're like, if only I could just add some life, resist, attack speed, physical damage, whatever, and our gear was shit, and then the crafting bench came along and it was less shit. Now it's going to be pretty shit again, so I wouldn't base things on too gear-heavy builds, and I wouldn't be relying terribly much on your drops, maybe some unique items, because yeah, it's going to be tough. But with all that said, I think mostly what you're going to want to do is, for us average plebs to enjoy this type of event, something with corpse destruction, because something without corpse destruction and doing lots of delve starts to get pretty tedious pretty quickly, because there's just exploding bug dudes that leave, ground trails and explode for lots of damage, and that stuff is really all over the place, and it just gets tedious trying to dodge that and not stand in crap. So you probably want to play something like an occultist with corpse explosion, like a anything with ice, so anything that freezes, that's going to be pretty much my go-to. Something fire that's going to aim to get a pyre ring, but those are going to be a bit RNG. I wouldn't rely on getting those immediately. Maybe things with, detonate dead, volatile dead, shit like that. But moral of the story, actually, yeah, gladiator as well. Gladiator is going to be a big one. Moral of the story, I think you want corpse destruction. But I don't really know what I'm talking about for huge endless delve stuff, and people can push a lot further than I've ever done, and that's not really my expertise. But I think for us it's just going to be trying to get to like level 70, 80, have some fun, and not take it too seriously, because endless delve I personally think is going to get boring after a couple of days. It's going to be real exciting at the very start, it's going to be real nice to get into, but then you're just fucking delving, and that's all you're doing. And it's gonna get tiring. At least that's my opinion. So to give you a taste of what I'm thinking, I'm all over the place. I might still pick something completely different when I start or when I'm not feeling it, but I'm probably thinking personally to get into one of my old builds from Harvest. Harvest has a few builds that I could definitely get into, since a lot of them were very good, and I had a lot of fun with plenty of them, and they're very strong for something like Delve. I probably want to do some Winter Orb yet again, this time obviously without an Eternity Shroud, without super insane gear, but I think just a pure cold version of Winter Orb with some cast on channel Ice Spear. It's probably starting out with Freezing Pulse, Frostbolt into Ice Spear, maybe some Ice Nova, and then into a Winter Orb style cast world channel. Not quite sure on the Ascendancy yet. Might be a Raider just for zooms, but it's probably going to be something like an Inquisitor. Could be an Assassin. Could easily do Trickster as well. Pick whatever Ascendancy you want, because competitiveness isn't really going to factor into it, I don't think. But I think you can just follow this one if you want to do something similar. The passive tree is basically what I should be following. It's not tailored to Eternity Shroud at all, and it can be started as a Shadow or a Templar quite comfortably, or even a Witch if you want to do an Occultist version. So that's kind of mostly what I'm thinking about. Otherwise, I would really like to make a cast on crit, some sort of character, maybe some Cyclone, Pathfinder, Assassin. Like I said, that dagger is really quite smooth for any character, so you can make a Pathfinder with lots of crit very smoothly. And then it could be the Blade Vortex Bladefall combo, maybe the Bladefall Blade Blast combo, but going more into a cold base so that we're shattering and blowing stuff up smoothly. I think that could be pretty damn smooth and good. One thing you do have to keep in mind though, you're probably going to be fighting plenty of bosses and finding plenty of them. So where I usually find one all Crystal King, like per league, might be able to fight plenty of them throughout this event. And you might want to tailor a character around being able to beat those bosses. So the other main thing you probably want to look at is a Gladiator. Gladiator with, you know, Lacerate, Bleed, Earthquake, some shit like that. Very strong for delving, very smooth. Maybe some Spectral Shield Throw is what I might try just to be a hipster. And it could be very fun. Maybe some Blade Flurry, some shit like that. There's still very meta and obvious builds. Your Chieftain Blade Vortex, your Assassin, whatever the fuck you want, your Lacerate Glads, your mining builds, you know, Icicle Mines, stuff like that. Essence Drains, no real corpse destruction there. But yeah, lots of good suggestions out there already from the other community members. If you want to check those out, I think I might try some Winter Orb just to have a good feel for it. Doubt I'm going to push it too far. It really depends how much fun I'm having. But I do think this event should be worth at least a little bit of a shot to see what it's like from a different perspective in Path of Exile rather than just the regular leveling grind through the story mode and then maps. So that's me. See you guys very soon in the Endless Delve event. Hope you guys have a good event and then following Christmas. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.